this is Rebecca from Innovative Bodywork. I'm here with my three-part series on carpal tunnel syndrome and repetitive stress injuries to the wrists and hands and forearms. In the first part of this video, I talked about anatomy. The second part was on self-care, and this third part is going to be on ice massage and salt glows. I hope you like it. Now let's talk about some other ways that we can kind of pamper ourselves here. One of the tricks that I learned in massage school is ice massage, because that is an awesome way to help relieve some inflammation. There's a big debate whether it's better to use ice or heat at certain times. And not being a doctor, I can't tell you what to use, but I can tell you what works for me. If my forearms are inflamed, if I just did 6 hours of massage, chair massage on a whole bunch of people, and I'm just kind of fatigued, I can feel that my forearms are actually a little hot and inflamed, maybe even a little swollen, I'm going to go with ice before I go with heat. And that's what we're going to do right now. So I have a little glass of ice, and I'm going to take a piece of paper towel and pick up an ice cube. They're slippery. So I've got my ice cube and my paper towel, and I'm actually I would say do this over a sink right now. I'm over a towel, and I'm just going to massage here. So I'm going to start up at the extensors, and I'm just going to go in nice little circles. No pressure. This is just really light, really on the surface. And I'm going to do the same on the other side. So on the flexor side, I'm getting it here and then melting the ice. And the rule was always do this until the ice cube melts. And, a lot of us, especially, I'm in Vermont, it's snowing outside right now. The thought of putting an ice cube on my forearm is not the best thing in the world. So you might need to psych yourself up a little bit, but I can tell you, even without my forearm being really inflamed right now, this actually feels really good once I'm doing it. And the nice thing about moving the ice cube around your arm, instead of just holding it there like an ice pack, is it's a little less of a shock for the body. And it's kind of cool what it does with your circulation, because there's a mixture of warm and cold. So there's the lukewarm of the air and the ice. And as you're moving it around, it causes your veins to kind of go like this. You get more blood flow in there. If you were to keep the ice on there just solidly, then that actually is going to constrict your blood vessels. So you're not going to get as much blood flow and sensation. And if you were to just put something really, really hot on there, it opens up those blood vessels, causes your heart to work harder, and just pumps so much blood flow through that it can actually cause fatigue to the muscles. That's why if you take a really super hot bath and you feel awesomely relaxed afterwards, you're actually exhausted. You've just worked your circulatory system. So finding that balance, warm baths instead of hot, and ice massage instead of ice packs, can actually help improve the circulation. So here's another thing you can do. This is a salt or sugar glow. You can do either. And I really like this because there's a lot of room for creativity. You can put in essential oils that you like. You can put in herbs that you like. Some people add lavender as an example, or peppermint. And it can be as basic as the virgin olive oil in your kitchen and the salt from your salt shaker, or as elaborate as fancy bath salts, Epsom salts, fancier oils. So what I have here is a bowl of a mixture of jojoba and vitamin E oil. That's what I like to use. I think that it's very hydrating for the skin without being incredibly greasy. It does end up being absorbed into the skin, but it still has kind of a nice glide when you're working on it. But like I said before, you can totally use whatever you have around for oil. So cooking oils, it works, and it's cheap. So why not use them? You can use, if you want something really lightweight, like a grapeseed oil is a really good idea. And I'm going to take, I'm using sugar today. So again, you can use sugar, and the sugar I'm using is, it's a natural sugar. You can't really see, so it's bigger crystals. I like bigger crystals. You get better exfoliation that way. I also use Epsom salts a lot. But like I said before, you can use table salt as well. You can use fancier salts, whatever you want to do. This is totally your thing. The other thing that you can totally do is heat up the oil. So you can, if your oil's in a little bottle, You can take a glass of hot water and you can set your oil in the hot water and it'll warm up in about 30 seconds or so, maybe a couple minutes. You can put it in the microwave, but be super careful when you do that because you don't want the oil to burn you by any means. So go slowly, maybe use a 50% power if you're going to put it in the microwave. So I'm going to take my sugar and I'm going to put some into the oil. I'm not using the whole amount that I had. I think I had half an ounce and I only used about a quarter ounce. There's no hard and fast rule here. It's whatever you want. And I'm just going to mix up that sugar in the oil. And actually I am going to use a little bit more. You definitely want it to be thick enough that it'll go on kind of like a paste. For those of you who have used exfoliation products in the past, you want it to be a little bit thicker than your normal exfoliator. So now that I have this, and I'd like to remind you that I am on top of a towel right now. This is messy, but it's so worth it. So I've just got a gloop of this in my hands, and I'm just kind of putting it right on my forearms here. Oh, and it feels awesome already. So since I'm using a thicker sugar grain, this is definitely a harder type of exfoliation. If you use something with a thinner grain, it'll be a bit more gentle. And since you're making this, you can control how much you put in. So if you have really sensitive skin, you might not want to make it that thick. Just find out what works for you and what doesn't bother your skin. So I'm just rubbing this into my forearm. It feels really awesome right now. It doesn't feel super greasy or oily, though it's still a very messy product. And I'm also massaging this into my hands, wrists, oh yeah, into my fingers. And this has a lot of benefits to it. Some people look at exfoliation and they think just at this cellular skin level. So it's like, oh great, I'm getting rid of dead skin cells, my skin's going to be smoother. That's nice, but how is this actually going to help me? So this is going to help you in a variety of ways, muscularly and fascia-wise. You're actually helping massage your forearm and your wrists and your hands when you do this. The reason that I like to use the larger crystals is that I'm getting more of a massage without having to work very hard for it. So I'm not putting a lot of pressure. I'm not, leaning into this, but I can feel that these sugar crystals are definitely massaging my muscles. I can feel that my muscles are loosening up as I do this. And anytime you're doing massage, that means that you're also getting better circulation, better blood flow, hopefully better lymph drainage. So all those good things that we want. So once you are done, you would probably wash it off. I've got a dry paper towel, but I will definitely be washing my arm when I am done with this video. And once it is pretty much all off of you, you should notice that your skin is very smooth and soft. And that's always nice. And if it was a warmer oil, that would also help to relax those muscles and that muscle tissue. So those are a couple fun tricks that you can do for self-care. Self-care is a good thing to keep up with regularly. It's not something that I recommend doing, once a month. I would say try to get at least with the stretching into a regular routine. If you do have a lot of inflammation, a quick ice massage can help alleviate some of that. And then for those special times where you really want to treat yourself, check out one of the salt or the sugar glows. And I hope you enjoy it. Feel free to also check out my website and let me know if you